Hi, I'm Chris Raptus Real Estate. Welcome to another short. Now, this is financial advice. Do your own research. You know the drill. Like and retweet. Share. It all helps with the algorithm and the channel. So I want to continue on the narrative about agent selection and what's important in an agent, or what I feel is my point of difference when I'm selling or renting commercial or residential property. And I guess a lot of these videos that I see are just cringeworthy of real estate agents and their firms, and how they're all high-fiving each other and bragging about how good they are and how many sales they've done and how much money they've got under management. And I think the Australian consumer is just over the bullshit. They want to see, in my opinion, someone that's trustworthy, someone that's reliable, someone that says what they do and honors that commitment. And I guess when I am, doing property, I could potentially come across as a little bit of a know-it-all, maybe. But that's just my passion for the industry. It's my passion for my job. It's my passion for, I guess, my clients. And I guess I just try and do the very best that I can, because I'm not a I don't know kind of guy. When a client or a buyer or a tenant asks me a question, I don't turn around and say I don't know. You should know. Your clients are paying you to know. So I guess what it comes down to is really just knowing your onions and knowing what you're selling or what you're leasing, and that is what you're being paid for as a professional, is to know. Now, it's okay to not know, but in my opinion, you should be seeking instructions, learning what you don't know, and then re-emphasizing that back to your potential customer. And I guess that's always been my point of call, is I certainly try and take control of the scenario with the buyer or the tenant, and take them on a journey and show them why I believe this property is better than the one down the road, or why I have chosen to sell this property for a particular price. It's my knowledge that I feel is my competitive edge. When you're doing property for 20 years, I'm gonna sell the shit out of that product because I believe in that product. I believe in my company, I believe in myself, I believe in my client that has trusted me on the sale or the rent of that property. So that's all it comes down to, is belief in yourself. None of this cringeworthy bullshit about how good the firm is and high-fiving on all the bravado of how many sales you've done. The consumer doesn't give a shit, right? They care about the price, they care about whether it's a good, honest product, and whether they've bought a